Welcome to the end of 2025. It's the end of the year. And I played a lot of games, and I streamed a lot of games. Which means clearly I'm very, very unqualified to talk about the games of the year. But I am qualified to talk about my games of the year. Keep in mind, here's my top 10. Top 10. Among other things, I'm also going to list games that maybe could have made it, and other games I've played. And to be honest, I was tweaking this list. I made this list like a month ago, or maybe like a couple weeks ago, and then I swapped things around last week, I swapped things around the other day, I swapped things around today. So I've been moving things around a lot. Any of these things, this is so flexible that some game at the top could be, well, maybe not at the top, but a lot of the games, anywhere from the 5 to 10 range, could probably move around. So don't take any of this as gospel, and if a game's not on here, it might have been. I might have had it on there and I took it off. But, Pikmin 2 is going to be on there. Yeah, you're right, it's the top 10. I don't even think I played that this year. But these are games I played this year. New games, or old. Games I played this year, not games that came out this year. That would be a different list. Starting off, Steam Replay. Just whatever, they do it every year, just like show it. I played 57 games on Steam. Obviously, this is including Nintendo's wrap-up, which they haven't done yet. They're doing it in January. Fuckers. Really? Wait until fucking January, assholes? I don't know the cutoff date for the Steam one. It is not, like, strictly up-to-date, because I played games this December that I don't think are covered in this list. And I checked today, and it's still the same. It still says 57. So I think it's in the mid-December at some point they cut off, and, like, that's enough. And that's where they draw the line, but... So mostly up-to-date, not perfect. 452 achievements, 322 sessions. Which isn't days. If I played Steam more than once or opened a game more than once, I suppose that counts as multiple sessions. But it still seems like a lot of sessions. 38 new games. My number one game this year that I played purely out of time is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Which isn't surprising. Second is Terraria. Probably also not surprising. Sonic Adventure, Deltarune, and then Remake. Why not? A lot of games. Good list. I mean, this one was Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was just playing, essentially, again, to go back here. Also, you can see all the other games in the gear I played. Like, not fuck you, game. Great game. Good game. Also, Twitch. I think this is technically better stats than last year, but not by much. Because I'm not a big streamer. Or rather, I'm not a popular streamer. Let's break it down. 40 new followers, whatever. 1.5 thousand hours watched, and this is only on Twitch. YouTube, different. Sometimes the stats might be better. Sometimes they might be worse. I don't know why the Ocarina of Time is here. That's, I don't know. I guess this is retro. I don't know how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth isn't on here, but I guess nobody watched those. I'm here and enjoying, but also making curry. I made curry yesterday or the day before. It's very good. I streamed when this was created, so this is already outdated, but 292 times this year. Plus whatever has happened since this was added to this list. I received 27,000 chats, 89 clips, and good. I personally watched less than 1,000. I did visit Twitch almost every single day. I didn't send 6,000 chats, did I? Okay, I guess I did. Because apparently, according to me, I watched almost 300 hours of Vinesauce. I sent 1,000 chats. I watched 200 hours of Varg Skeletor, 76 hours of the Yogscast, 85 hours watched of Steve and George, and 51 hours of watching a new artist. My 5th most watched. Very exciting. That's my most used emote. Probably I used it once, and that was enough because I don't use emotes very often. Let's start. Top 10 games played this year. Again, unlike other people, I don't switch up the streamers I watch very often. On Twitch, anyways. It's rare that I do. It's you're on TV. I know, it's crazy. Not like you stream art, but no. So, Mario Kart World is number 10. And I wasn't sure if this should be on the list or not. It's hard to say. You're going to be maybe not surprised that the Switch games, there aren't that many, and they're not very high on my top 10 list. They're still on the list, so it's not like you give them credit that ways, but they're not actually that high. All of my top games are indie games, unsurprisingly. But I like Mario Kart World, and I think I like it more than other people. Well, a decent chunk of people. This game ended up being relatively divisive, rather. Some people think it didn't do enough different. Some people think it went way too different. It's Mario Kart. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you straight, I don't actually really enjoy Mario Kart very much. Not that I don't not enjoy it. I play it, and I enjoy playing it when I play it. And you play it with friends, and it's fun. It's not a game I typically... I mean, again, I don't really buy them that often. I didn't have Mario Kart Wii growing up. I had Mario Kart DS, which was bought for me, and I enjoyed it. The mode I played on it most was the single-player mode, the mission mode. I didn't get Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. I did get it on the Switch, but I only got Mario Kart 8 on the Switch maybe 3 years ago. Like, very late into the Switch life cycle. I was like, fuck it. They're doing DLC for this 10-year-old game. Why not? I'm not a Mario Kart fan, realistically. I enjoy it, but it's not enough for me to warrant spending the money on often. I'll just think, oh, I'll get another game. I'll get a different game. This, of course, was a launch title for the Switch, too, which came out this year. And for me, the biggest selling point is the fact that, yes, you can do Grand Prix, you can do it online, all the stuff everyone already knows and cares and already has been in the games. But there's a giant open-world map full of fun, custom, unique challenges that add cool things for you to play around in. And again, it's not like it's a story mode, as there's no story. And the stuff you're doing doesn't really give you anything tangible. It's more about exploring and the challenge of doing a thing. And for some people, that's not enough. Because, well, they want it to be relevant. They want to go do a quest to get an item. You know. Which is fair. But, I don't know, this game, ironically, or not ironically, funnily, this game has made me think a lot about incentives in games and why people do things. If you do a very tedious challenge, or just a very long challenge for 5 hours, and you get a very marginal reward for it, was the fun you had for the 5 hours beforehand doing the challenge not enough? Or, for example, the satisfaction of the challenge not enough? Because I do things that are hard sometimes because it's fun to achieve, you know, and all the rest of that. It's like Deltarune. You do like the Roaring Knight fight, which in the end gives you something, but it's not that much. And then there's another fight in Chapter 4 that's completely optional. Well, not optional. It's a dodging thing. If you get to the top, you get like an extra line of dialogue if you do it. I did it. Why? Because it was fun. The one line wasn't necessary, but the satisfaction of doing the difficult thing is fun. But again, I get why people don't like it, and I think people think the overworld is a little disappointing. Because, well, maybe it is. This isn't a game I played a ton, but I still like it, and when I go and play it, I have fun. Some of the challenges are really fun, they're really unique, they're really creative. And when I say challenges, it's things like, oh, they spawn tons of custom assets and stuff to make it unique, or you do a custom race, a throwback. There were challenges I spent 2 hours plus, and I didn't beat them, and I was like, okay, I have to, like, be productive. I can't keep trying this challenge for another 4 hours. So there's a lot of content in there that is fun. I enjoyed it. It's a good breaking into the Switch, and I think it's probably worth being on the list. And again, this is bottom of my list. I could easily just have moved it off and put something else on there, but I think it's fine to have it here. Another Switch game. Like I said, all of the Switch games that are going to be on this list are pretty low. Donkey Kong Bananza. Good game. Very fun. Relating to Donkey Kong, it's very technically impressive. Destroying the entire world. The mechanics are fun. The mechanics are impressive. Visually, it's very pretty. You know, it's a platformer. It's all the things people love. There's a story. There's music. Banana. It's great, and it's silly, and it's great. Again, I don't think I could say I loved this game. I really liked it. Oh, banana. But I do think that this game kind of, at certain points, I maybe lost a little bit of interest. And maybe I was playing it too much or doing too much, but there was a point in time where I was thinking, you know what? This main mechanic of just digging through the ground and digging through everything was like, you get tired of it because it's kind of the same. Every level kind of felt too similar, and it felt the same. And it's hard for me to say that because, well, surely a lot of games are like that. If I'm playing Mario and I'm jumping around everywhere, is that not repetitive? But no. Maybe it doesn't feel like it. It feels different. Again, the point of comparison for this game is Mario Odyssey, right? Which came out on the Switch. Switch 2, platformer, made by the same team. All of the rest. There's a lot of similarities in structure in this game. If I say Mario Odyssey, aside from the fact that it has Mario, I thought the gameplay in Mario Odyssey was fantastic. I thought the levels were fun. I thought they were creative. I thought the music in Mario Odyssey was fantastic. There's not much of a compelling story necessarily, but there was a lot of unique and fun aspects of Mario and all the levels. The key distinct difference in Mario was that the levels were interesting in all unique areas and the unique mechanics in each level. Donkey Kong Bonanza, the main mechanic was digging around. So a lot of levels were just giant mountains full of dirt and you could dig into them. You might get new power-ups and new mechanics, but a lot of those just go along with the same idea of digging stuff. They didn't feel utilized, the worlds didn't feel that distinct and interesting. And maybe part of it was that they had to build the worlds in a way to utilize that mechanic. It made a lot of the worlds feel a little repetitive, yes. I didn't hate it, and it's fun. The gameplay itself is inherently very fun. But I do think it became a little dry. That's why in latter half of the game, I got back into it, because the levels were a little different. One of these levels, you don't dig around. There's just kind of more just things to do. And the last level is literally not very tall. And you go, there's 5 or 6 different challenges, you're in a little amusement park, and you go to different areas of the amusement park. That was more fun. It's more the kind of thing I wanted to see. And of course, the ending sequence is fantastic. Brilliant. Wonderful, incredibly fun ending sequence. So it came back around at the end, but there was a very large lull in the middle, where I was like, maybe I'm tired. Not a perfect game. But very fun, very cool, and very impressive. Technically very impressive. I don't think it beats out a game like Odyssey, but if I was going to do a top 10 games of 2017, that would be a whole different fucking playing field. However, still good, and I still think worth being on the list at number 9. Right? I don't know if this should be on the list or not. It's a game I streamed once, but I played it way more often off stream than I had played on. I'm just sitting at home watching a stream and I'm like, I need a game to play. I don't want it to be like Hades, because I don't want to get invested in something if I'm watching something. I'd put this on, and I'm having great fun. Nubby's Number Factory at number 8. It is a great, very cheap roguelike. I guess Peggle style, maybe? Maybe not Peggle. You shoot like a ball from the top of the screen, it bounces around. Maybe it is Peggle style, like Peggling, which is an entirely different take on a roguelike. This one's more Balatro-like with its mechanics. Because you shoot them down, you get power, you get money to buy power-ups. These power-ups can be combined to make better power-ups. And they scale, and you can get insane numbers, and you can put them in different slots at the top of the screen, like Balatro can, in different orders, and they'll trigger on different things. And you can make things trigger other things, and there's big cascading effects. It's very fun. And there's, again, tons of replayability. You beat it once, which you can beat it, then you unlock other characters with different settings. You can unlock new stuff. It probably doesn't have as much content as something like, I don't know, Isaac or other ones, but this is a cheaper game. It has a very ridiculous style. It makes me look. It looks like a Click Team Fusion game from the 90s, maybe early 2000s, but not in a bad way. And also the music's oddly quite good. Way more fun than you would expect, and it's a game where you just need go through a round of Nubby. Yeah, let's play a bit of Nubby. Just go through a quick round of Nubby when I'm doing nothing else. It's fun, very fun, and there's still there's a surprising amount of depth. I like roguelikes. This was a fun, silly one, and I put more time into it than I realized. How much time did I put into it? If I actually check, I've got Steam open, obviously. Probably not 60 hours, but 10, maybe 5 to 10 hours, something around there. I kind of want to play it more. Maybe I'll stream it today. I mean, again, if I'm not fully sold on what to stream, I could play some Nubby. But yeah, Nubby at number 8. Look outside. I was streaming this the other day. And I'm not sure if this should be in this list. I'm not sure if it should be as high as it is. No, you know what? I think at this point, I think it's really good. I have to be honest as well about this list. There is going to be a recency bias. Anything I played in the fucking first month of the year, I don't remember. It could have been fucking life-changing, and I don't remember it probably. So there's a, you know, the things I played in the last 6 months are going to stick in my head a lot more. Obviously, excluding things that I played for a longer period of time. I mean, that's inherent. It's a very heavily biased list that's constantly shifting. I really like this game. This game has a lot of replayability. It has a lot of choices. It has a lot of depth. It feels like a fleshed-out RPG with a lot of distinct mechanics. And it's compelling. Its storytelling and writing is very good. And it has a lot of little moments. There was one moment in the very first stream of it that I played that was immediately like, oh. You know, you get into an encounter with somebody. Do you attack them? Do you talk to them? They're clearly a monster. But, you know, you go to this house, this family of people who have fucking, like, teeth growing out of every orifice, and they start attacking you or whatever. You go to a room and there's a child covered in teeth playing with their toys. You sit down with them. You can play with them. You don't have to kill them, but they die anyways. But you made them happy in their last moments. There's little things like that, where this game, it's incredibly compelling. And there's a level of randomness where the events that happen day to day. Apparently, you can get certain events on different days. There's things like that, where it's really fun, it's really compelling, it looks visually pretty nice, and gross, obviously, in a good way. And the music is great. All around, it's a solid game. I heard about, like, I was watching a Germa stream, and he's like, yeah, this is the best game I played this year. Germa was like, yeah, I love looking outside. And then he mentioned, oh, Varg Skeletor, a streamer I like, was playing it. I was like, oh yeah, he says, oh, I love this game. So I came to it very late in the year. I did not come to this game when it came out. Which was this year, but like earlier in the year. But I'm glad I finally picked it up at the end of the year. Hopefully gonna finish it soon. At least one run through, and then, you know, leave it at that on stream for. But very fun. Ooh, Binding of Isaac music. I'm skipping it actually. But yeah, I very much enjoyed it. It's good. I don't need to sell it any more than I have. Honestly, I don't even think I have any real complaints about it, to be honest. It feels like a good RPG, it has good mechanics, and it also really does feel like a survival horror game, where you've got limited resources, and you've got limited everything, and there's an explicit amount of enemies that you can encounter. You can kill them, and then that space is safe, because you've killed the enemies in this area. It does feel like a survival horror, despite being a turn-based RPG. It manages everything in a way, and it's not frustrating. That's number 7. Number 6, Terraria. I think this is a screenshot of me, by the way. My actual game. I probably took it from the stream. It's been a while at this point, so it's hard for me to, like, remember what happened. How long did I play Terraria? I think it's like 60 hours or something. If I actually look at the hours of Terraria, which I know is not a lot for the people who have thousands of hours. 70 hours, 69.8 hours. So 70 hours of Terraria. All of that on stream, by the way. 70 hours of streaming this year was in Terraria. The crazy I beat it blind. I mean, I had some help at some points. There were times when I could request. It's not like I just figured out everything. I tried to, and it wasn't exactly very helpful for my own sanity. I liked it. I think it's fun. I mean, mechanically speaking, it's a game that I like. It's a game I kind of knew I would enjoy, because it's a game that involves breaking and crafting and making and exploring a little bit. I've played games similar to Terraria, and not Minecraft. I played other games similar to Terraria in the past, which I've talked about. I think there are aspects of the game that can be a little confusing, but again, that's in a first-time instance. And this is the kind of game that I think grows on you the more you play it. The more you play it and the more you know about it. There were a couple of early streams where I was getting frustrated, but I kind of gotten over that, and then it became more fun. It was a long stream, admittedly, but I enjoyed it. And I got the idea of the progression, and I kind of got the idea of what you were meant to do, and what you could do, and there's plenty of things I didn't do. If I were ever to replay it, I think I would have a better grasp, but also I would be able to potentially do more. I would look up the fun, random, strange things to do. Also, if it was a game I would play with other people, for example, multiplayer-wise, that'd probably be a lot of fun. because you can explore the world and you can help each other out. Sorry, lady. You're singing a song called Thursday. It's Wednesday. There we go. Ooh. But no, I do think it's quite fun. Again, it's $10. It's always been $10. It's one of those best deals ever. And it's a game they also just won't stop updating. They keep putting more stuff into it. They're like, oh, we're done. But what if we weren't? New updates coming next month. Amazing. That's what I figured. But yeah, very fun, very vibrant. Infinite variety of random stuff to do. I enjoyed it. I think there's a chance I could play some Terraria again in the future. I don't think it would be another long stream of beating it, but it would probably be to check out something, a smaller scope, a smaller scale. Maybe, I don't know, I'd have to think of something unique. Maybe some mods or something, who knows. But I wouldn't be against it, necessarily. Probably not soon, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. And my end... I own Core Keeper. So, no. I got it for this year's Jingle Jam. Kirby Air Riders, number 5. And this one is another one where I'm thinking, this might be too high? Not that I didn't like Kirby Air Riders, not that I still don't like Kirby Air Riders. I'm wondering if it might be too high. I don't know. Fundamentally, fundamentally, it is a very fun game. If you played Kirby Air Riders, and then you play this, you realize, wow, they're very much the same game. But kind of like, in your memory, what the game's like, if you play back the original, you're like, wow, this game is slow. God, it feels worse to play than I remember. And then you play this new one, and it's like, everything has been polished to a sheen. It's one of the most polished games of the year, one of the most slick, one of the most, it's chock full of love. Every Sakuraiism that Sakurai could have squozen into this game, he did. The fundamental basics of the gameplay are very fun. Not everyone likes it. If you liked Air Ride, you like this fundamental gameplay. But some people, they bounce off of it, and that's because it might not be for them. And Sakurai himself has said, yeah, I'm fine with that. If everyone loves the game I play, then maybe it's too universally appealing and not interesting enough. Funny, Kojima said something similar. It obviously looks great. I've heard some people say that this game has one of the nicer looking games on the Switch too. It's very pretty. And it is very pretty. Not a self-conscious bone on its body. No, not at all. It goes with its full heart in everything it does. There's a ridiculous level of little side bits, nitty-gritty bits, little small things. Like you can make a machine, and there's a market to sell your machine. You don't get money from it, but other people can see it, and you can see what's popular. You can customize everything. There are all the tracks in the new game, all the tracks from the old game if you want to do racing. The racing is better. Now people can play the racing and actually feel like, wow, this does feel like a good game for racing with its own mechanics, and it's fun. Of course, the main mode is City Trial, which is also very fun. Ironically, or maybe not ironically, funnily enough, City Trial was obviously the best mode, and the main mode in the original game. Somehow I feel like every mode that they improved in this game, City Trial improved the least. Maybe it's because it didn't need to improve as much. I think I wouldn't... At this point, I do think I wouldn't have minded if maybe there was another City Trial map to go on. Or maybe, a couple other extra small... Maybe there were more events. The map got a lot bigger, and there's a lot more people in it. But to be honest, it does feel fundamentally the same. However, it doesn't stop it from being fun. And of course, there's also the massive single-player mode, which is also very fun and enjoyable. Oddly, something I actually have a lot of fun with. Aside from, I've probably played it more than City Trial. I don't know if I think it should be number 5 or not, but I have a lot of respect for it, and I also had a lot of fun with it. It could drop down. I don't know. I'd have to think about what I'd move up. What was more impactful? Do you know the Academy Awards, the Oscars, and there's Oscar bait? There is a level of, is this game just fun versus is this game, you know, compelling in other ways, and what is more important? This game is pure fun, right? It embodies it. But to be fair, I do think there are other games I might have found more fun and more compelling. So I'm not going to be too harsh on it, though. I liked it. It's number 5. Jeez. I'm explaining my opinions as if I expect someone to get angry at me for choosing the choices I've made. The person is myself. Listen, I'm very not a trusting person whatsoever. I have everything. I assume people are either lying to me or disagreeing with me. That's my permanent state. It's really upsetting, actually. I have to get over that. Because I have to trust that people tell the truth. Oh. But that's number 5. Can't wait for Deltarune Chapter 5 next year. I know. He said 2026. Toby said it. Which means in the span of 3 hours and 30 minutes, it'll be out, clearly. Because how could he not release it the day of? You actually enjoy Kirby? I know you enjoy Kirby. I'm sure you would like this game if you had a chance to play it. Number 4, Hades 2. And this one, there's a chance this could raise higher. Because I really enjoy Hades 2. I've not enjoyed it. I've never not enjoyed it. Every time I played it, I get into it. I was almost late to like my office party because I was sitting at home playing Hades 2 and was like, let me do one more run. I've been getting into it more recently. There's more and more stuff that's happening. Like Hades 1, the more you play it, the more you enjoy it, and the more stuff you do in it. It was only a day or two ago, and this is awful to say, because you look at me and you think, how fucking slow is this guy? How shit is he at Hades 2 that only now I finally just beat, I beat the guy in the basement for the very first time. I've taken my time with it. Jeez. It was a big deal. It was like day before yesterday. I mentioned it on stream yesterday. And I have not beaten the guy upstairs yet. I'm making slow progress. But I'm also not playing it every day. Again, the amount of time I've actually played this game is not as much as it should be. Again, a lot of that's been on the Switch too, but some of it's been on... You know, or early it was on Steam, a lot of it's on Switch too, because I can just sit on a couch or something and play it. When I'm not streaming stuff, I don't play that many games. Mostly because I want to be productive, I have other things I want to do. So sometimes it's like, okay. Yes, the first one is the hardest, you're correct. I feel like I can do better at any time afterwards. You're not productive. Nobody is. But since I already spent time streaming, how can I just sit down and play more games? I remember getting in trouble as a kid because we were playing games with my dad and then he walked away and shut everything off. And I was like, alright, you know what? He's gone. Let me play Super Mario 64 on my own. And then he got pissed at me for just sitting down and playing games all day. I was like, well, fuck, I'm sorry. What else am I supposed to do? Very upset. But yeah, this is probably the one game this year where I wish I streamed it more. A lot more. I just had other games to play. And also, it's just, I want to show people, man. I want to show people, like, look how good I am. Or how bad I am. Look at what I've done. Because it's a fun game to watch. I've been watching a streamer I like play Hades 1. For the first time ever, completely spoiler-free. Periodically, and it's very fun to watch him go through runs and see what's happening. And see what choices he makes. It's a fun game to watch. Look outside, look, peek, it was. That's why it was lower on my list, but it was on the list. But yeah, Hades 2, number 4. Great game. Love the game. Still haven't beaten it, but I'm going to be playing it for quite a while yet. Top 10 games, number 3 is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This could deserve to be higher. I did play this game early in the year. But this probably is my most played game this year. If I actually check on Steam right now and look for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have to type an actual Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Let's see, I've got 116.8 hours. And that's only with 48 of 61 achievements. There's a lot of achievements I didn't do for being like, do all of this, do all of that, do all of these quests, do all of those, level up everybody, master all the abilities, complete all the simulations, do all the challenges. There's a lot of things I just didn't do. This was just me beating it. And again, this one could move up to number 2. It's flexible. It probably deserves it. I really enjoyed this game. I've been thinking about it recently just because I want to replay it. I don't want to have to re-download it because it's like 100 and something gigs. Or or more, however big it was, I don't remember. But I liked it. Obviously, I love Final Fantasy VII. I love Final Fantasy VII Remake. This game came out like a year or two ago on the PlayStation 5. Exclusively. And you know what? That sucked. Because I wanted to play this game at launch, and I really, really wanted to play this game at launch. I was heavily considering buying a PlayStation 5 for this game, and so I could play it and stream it at launch. Genuinely. Summer 2026. Have you ever thought? No. This New Year's is sad and depressing. It makes you think about how little you did, how much little progress you made, how much time you wasted. Still alone. Nah, I'm fine. It's whatever. But yeah, this game was great. I was so excited to finally have a chance to play this game after it being out for ages and me not having the chance to play it because I fucking couldn't because it was exclusive. By the way, Chapter 3 or whatever shouldn't be exclusive. I think Square Enix, unless they've signed a contract, I think they should be done with that, hopefully. But it's like Remake, gameplay-wise, but expanded. They do more with it. They add more mechanics. It's like the world, but expanded. Where now there's these giant open zones to explore all the classic places in 7, like Junon and Gold Saucer and all the places. And tons of quests, tons of challenges, tons of world to see and explore, and it's all fun, and it handles it well. And like a freak, I wanted to do most everything, which can lead to more enjoyment and also lead to less enjoyment. But again, I wanted to squeeze every drop of character, every interaction between the peoples, and there's a lot. Again, if you want to, they're all voiced. All these characters are voiced. So every little piece of interaction and dynamicism and story that you could get out of it, I kind of wanted to do, and I did almost everything. As much as I feasibly could have. Some challenges were just too fucking hard. Late game stuff, and I wasn't good enough. Or rather, I wasn't dedicated enough, and I wasn't willing to spend the time. I did have some problems with the game. And that's why part of me feels like Remake is a slightly better balanced game. Some people think Rebirth is just Remake but better in every way. I don't think that's true. Rebirth does do certain things better, but I think Remake is good in the same and different ways. Remake has pacing issues and stuff like that, so it's not like it's perfect either, but regardless, it's very fun, and I can't wait for it. I honestly felt like I want to replay it on my own, but maybe if it comes to Switch 2, I'll pick it up. And then just play it very slowly and revisit the story. And neither is clearly better than the other. That's why I don't think Rebirth is just better than Remake. They're different games. Structurally very different. And both gameplay-wise very fun. Some of the additions to gameplay in Rebirth were great, but other times I feel like they made the gameplay feel worse. Some aspects better and some aspects worse. Maybe Rebirth was more complex, though. Regardless, number 3. Could be number 2. I could have switched them, but can't wait. Still one of my favorite games of the year, and obviously, definitely the game I played the most. Also, remember that if I was showing Slay the Princess, I was gonna say I streamed the entirety of FF7, so that was almost 120 hours on stream this year. Number 2 is Slay the Princess, which was a surprise. It was a huge surprise. I think I'd heard of the game. I knew it existed. I didn't know anything about it at all, and I didn't realize how compelling it was going to be. I only streamed this game twice. I have like 10 hours in this game, so I guess 5-hour streams each. I streamed it all the way through the first run once. Go to top 3. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you. Wow, did you kill a princess? You'd have to play. I almost don't want to tell anybody more about it. Oh, this song. From this part of the game in Mother 3, Jesus. More than FF. Maybe. It's hard to say. Again, though, number 2 and 3 could be switching around. You did help me get this game. Well, you told me to get it, and I bought it. And then I got the other game by this company for free. At some point, I'll play their other game. I'd have it downloaded somewhere. But this game is a lot about choices, and the choices you make, and the choices you can do. And it's the kind of game where, I mentioned this the other day, I play games making the choices I want to make. Deltarune in the rankings? Well, I'm not done with the list yet. You have to wait and see. This is a game where choices matter. Of course they do. But in an interesting way. It has incredible voice acting. It has incredible art. And it has an incredibly compelling story. In a strange way. And every person's playing this game must be very different. Anyone who was watching my stream of it, which, by the way, was probably one of my favorite streams I did this year, was when I played Slay the Princess. I have to look back at that VOD. I'm curious how it went. It's unique. Not just, you know, by the format of how the game works to get to the ending. You could go through a quote-unquote run. You go through a certain thing a couple times. So your specific collection of things that you got, your 5 or whatever, I don't want to spoil too much, but is unique. So to play the game and see what I did was fun, and it was interesting. I would love to watch other people. I wish more people played this game that I watch, because I'm curious what choices they would make and what they would do, and how their first 5 or so would be. I think I could actually check on Steam and see. Let me see. Because I imagine everyone did something different. You can. It's very much like a personality test. You can tell what people did. Yeah, 34 of 131 achievements. And again, I could keep playing this game over and over again if I want to get other endings. I did it twice. Just once, the full way that I wanted to play the game, and then one more time. I initially didn't want to do it again. I was like, I got the ending. I made the choices I made. I don't want to do this anymore, because they're not going to be my choices. And then I was heavily suggested by people that I should play it again. Make some slightly different choices, maybe look for some of the other endings. And some of my favorite endings were the ones that I didn't get initially. They were wonderful. They were lovely. Which is neat. So it was very much worth playing again, and it's a thing where maybe I would enjoy playing and going through all of them. Get all the ones I didn't get, but, you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Some are probably fun, some are probably very good, but, again, I was very uncertain if I wanted to replay it again. I'm glad I did. I felt in the end it was worth it. Happy New Year's! Happy New Year's! It is fun, by the way, that I can see people, my friends list, oh, they got these achievements that I got. They didn't get achievements that I got, which clearly means they did something different from me. And I wish I could have watched them play it. I'm so curious what they chose and why. Clearly did something the same way, yes. But yeah, if you played this game, or you haven't played this game, play it. And if you played this game, try playing it again. Try making some different choices. It's a shame, I had a stream, and I had a chat, and they could ferry me to specific endings, some of which I'm so glad I saw. So I tell people to play it again. I guess if you don't have a chat, I guess use a guide, I don't know. Get fucked. But it was great, it was very fun, and I thought it was wonderful. I enjoyed every aspect of it. Again, it could be number 3. That could have been number 2, it's hard to say, but I really, really enjoyed this. And it was such a surprise. It was such a wonderful surprise that I just didn't expect. That I'm very, very happy I ended up picking it up, and I'm very happy I played it. You're taking that frisk? You slay the princess with a... Will you slay? I cut my nails. They're not slay nails, unfortunately. God, I'm thinking about this game, and I want to play it again, actually. Even though, here's the thing. Eventually I'm going to run out of endings that I like, but... I really enjoyed it. I really, really did. And again, 5-hour streams are tiresome. I can get tired and bored, but it was fun. Surely number 1 will be a Mario Monday game. You're absolutely right. The Freak Mario game I played is clearly number 1. The number 1 game this year should be obvious, as you can literally see it from the background of this entire presentation. Deltarune. What a shock! Deltarune, the game that we've been waiting for ages, finally came out this year. Chapter 3, Chapter 4. I can buy the game. I spent my money on it. And I played it. At launch. Number 1 is Minecraft, baby! I am Steve. Never mind. Tip note, and then you stab the princess 29 times. She'll probably die, probably. Maybe not, though. A lot of people have this game as their top of the game, top of the year. I know of many people. One of my favorite streamers, Varg Skeltor. Game of the year for him. It has a lot of... I mean, he's a metal singer. He's a lot of different audiences love this game. It alters your brain chemistry. Your game of the year also. Unsurprisingly. And again, if you played Undertale, this isn't Undertale. It's a different game. Undertale came into me at the right time, and it was obviously very influential and very popular. But I do think Deltarune overall is just a better game. Just generally speaking, it is a better game. It visually is better. Gameplay-wise, it's better. Arguably, music is better. Although, with Toby Fox, all of his music is kind of on par with each other. Storytelling, I think it's as compelling. The theory crafting is insane for this. And partly because it's not out. I mean, hell, if you look in my Discord, you're gonna see tons of spoiled messages of people chatting back and forth. Me and artists really just talking back and forth about the Deltarune and what we think is happening. In our personal theories about what the hell's going on. Tip: make Chris date Burley no matter what route you're on. Maybe. It's new all over my free time. It's such a good game. I can't you get so invested in the characters. You get so invested in the story, and it's really telling something quite compelling with a lot of mysteries we don't know. Who is this character? What is the distinction between the player and the people in the game? What is this, what is the in-game story trying to tell? I don't know. It's very difficult to say. But obviously, and I feel like it would have been hard for this game not to have been my top, no matter what. It's a game I was looking forward to so much, and it's a game I love. I really love Deltarune. It's a game that only gets better as time goes along. Oh yeah, don't mention friend theory to Artist. Artist hates friend theory. Artist hates friend. He thinks friend theory is stupid. Always bet on Metaton Night. Yeah, it is a game where you want to play Undertale first, but I can't suggest Deltarune more often. And if there's any time to buy in, it's now. Play it before the game comes out, because then you get to theorize and see the community grow and evolve. I could talk about it more. But hell, I streamed the game when it came out this year, and I streamed it recently doing the Snowgrave route, which I still don't know if that was the right decision or not. Because I originally didn't want to do it, and then I decided maybe I have to do it. But, yeah. It's great. I can't suggest it more. Out of any game on this list, this is my favorite. It's the one that I've been thinking about the most, probably. Because it pops up periodically throughout the year. Everyone's making theories. You almost can't help it, because there are so many little bits and pieces of story that aren't resolved, that even when you're just talking about the game, you're like, I don't know what that means. And then you're coming to your own conclusions. And you're like, that might mean that. And again, we're smart people. If you watch something and they're leaving clues, you can infer what those clues might lead to in an obvious fashion, especially if there's only one answer. But just a great game. And I can't wait to play the next chapter at the beginning of next year. Because it's coming out tomorrow, obviously. Toby Fox said so. And if he's wrong, I'm gonna fucking Photoshop that shaving cream photo of him. By the way, there's a photo of Toby Fox in the shower, completely covered with shaving cream, where he looks like a fucking monster. It's very funny. I don't think Image Friend is at least talk about theory, is it? It's right up there with the Woody theory, which is the shitpost. Yeah, okay, let me show up if you haven't seen the Toby Fox cream photo. It's on Wikipedia. It's like... it's not shaving cream foam, it's just foam. This is Toby Fox. Where or when, I don't know. That's him. There's a lot of weird photos of the guy. He's a funny guy. It's the kind of photo I would do. I respect him. He's not naked, you can see his swim trunks right there. I just had to share that though. That's the guy who's making such a compelling game. That was a statue? No, it's Toby. But yeah, that's number 1. So, all of those games aside, here's other games that might deserve to be on the list. And maybe I couldn't do it, or they were too short, or something like that, or they didn't make the cut, but maybe I'll change my mind. These might have been games I played in the year early, and I don't remember very well. They might have been games that they could be swapped depending on how I'm feeling. And maybe some games should be on this list that aren't. Maybe I forgot about some games, to be honest. There's a good chance I've forgotten about some games. Like music for this section? Good music. It's random, but it's good. So first of all, top of this is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. There's a part of me that feels like I might have liked Kirby and Forgotten Land more than Mario. Maybe more than fucking DK. It's hard to say. I still want to go back to it and do all the extra stuff, but it's a supremely excellent Kirby game. It is incredibly enjoyable. It is incredibly fun. I don't think I have many issues with it. It has great pacing. It has great mechanics. It has very inventive and level design. It utilizes fixed camera angles in ways that I love in 3D games to make a lot of cinematic choices. The weakest part, I think, is probably the music, and it's not because it's bad, it's just not as good as everything else. It's still pretty good. I still enjoyed it well enough. And visually, it's very good. Obviously, I'm playing the Switch version, Switch 2 version, and it looks even better. It's in fucking 4K, dude! And of course, there's DLC for the Switch 2 version that I haven't checked out yet, because free DLC. Well, it comes with the Switch 2 version that I haven't checked out, but there's a good chance that this maybe deserves to be on the list over some of the other stuff, but it's hard to say. When you have a top 10, the list is constrained. I very much enjoyed it. Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. I was already playing Xenoblade X, and then they announced the Definitive Edition, and I was like, for fuck's sake. I know the changes are going to be major, and the quality of life stuff is going to be fucking insane, and this game is a fucking old-ass Wii U game that is in dire need of updates, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to buy it. I did. The changes were a lot, and the quality of life was a lot, and I have been enjoying it. It's one of those games, when I have time, and I'm not playing something else, I'll dip into Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. So it's very, incredibly slow going. But I'm having a lot of fun. There's an insane amount of quests. It's not like another Xenoblade game where it's more compelling story-wise, or even music-wise. I think the music is fine, it's just different styling. I don't think it's as necessarily as compelling as other Xenoblade games. This is the black sheep of the family. Just a little different. Not as story-based and RPG feeling as some of the other stuff. It goes way more sci-fi than it does fantasy, where the other ones have a mixture of both, but typically more fantasy. It's different, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more now on the Switch 2 than I did in the original Wii U version, despite enjoying it. It's a weird game that has grown on me. The more I play it, the more it does grow on me. And it has a fan base of freaks who put thousands and thousands of hours into it for some reason, so it could have been up there. Maybe it should, but I don't know. Eclipsium. That is a one-off game that I played during Halloween. I just thought, though, it looked and played wonderfully. How long even is this game? How long did I even put in that game? I put 4 hours into Eclipsium. Go to the store page. This is what the game looks like. If you didn't watch my stream. I will say, it looks way better in motion than it does just on still images. Like this. Very short, concise game. But I thought it was excellent all throughout. It was well-paced, it was ingenious, it was creative and clever, its mechanics, its puzzles, its world, this whole section was amazing. Visually, it's very compelling. The world it built was fantastic. The music was really good. And it had themes, and it tried to tell kind of a story in a very simple way. Not even in a simple way, in a very confusing way, rather. A lot for you to think about on your own and decide what it all meant. Obviously, body horror. That mechanic was cool. I know it's a simple mechanic, but that mechanic was very cool in a 3D game. Just excellent. Very short game. I hate that. I hate that. Incredibly short game, but I genuinely thought it was excellent. It could have been up there on my somewhere. Maybe not top 10. I think again, if a game is too short, it will probably be a little lower on my list, depending. Not a guarantee, but there might be a boon for longer games, because then you have to think about money and time and etc. But it's great. In chapter 67, in chapter 6-7, Undertale Gritty's on Gaster and the credits roll. Oh, for fuck's sake! I hope so. Another case of a game that I played this year for a one-off that I very much enjoyed. Very similar to Eclipsium, but maybe not horror-themed, was Ina Dream Barbecue. Which, again, I'm sure you could tell the kind of games I like. And by the way, if you know any other games like these games, suggest them to me. Weird walking simulators with strange mechanic kind of games. The trailer's probably way better than these images. These screenshots are fucking terrible. The game for what was essentially kind of a web series style. I don't think I've seen this trailer. I don't even think it's gonna have gameplay. Ina. Have you ever seen this character anywhere? That's Ina. Yeah, this actually isn't really showing much of anything of the actual game, to be honest. Very weird walking simulator type game with strange worlds. Very pretty. A lot of strange characters with their own voice actors doing all of them. Some of them speaking in different languages, some of them speaking in sounds, some of them speaking in English, just in weird ways. I'm skipping this beautiful visual. There we go. You explore places, and you see people. You get a gun? Okay, it's only chapter 1 of this or whatever, so it's not actually fully out yet. You get this guy, by the way. That guy's cool. He's animated like a CDI game, which I like. He's the wizard! Yeah, this is showing stuff in the game that's not even out yet. But I thought it was very fun and it was very cool. I love weird walking simulator type games with strange puzzles and the like. So this was great. It's called Ina Dream Barbecue. A weird name for a weird game. Who gives a shit? But again, also very fun, very enjoyable. Not long enough, as it's just kind of a part chapter 1 style, but still enjoyable, with a lot of fun little hidden secrets and things. I forgot that I even played this game until I looked, and I was like, oh, this was this year. I remember seeing this game on, like, a Nintendo Direct or something, an Indie Direct. And I was like, what the fuck is this game? It's called Refined Self, Personality... Wait, what was it? Sorry. Refined Self, the Personality Test Game. And this is a game that does a personality test on you. But it's like a little RPG-style game. You walk around town, you talk to people, you make choices. And you have a limited amount of things you can do. Explicitly. You run out of, like, time and or battery. So you are going around making choices. Each choice is limited. What choices are you doing? Where do you go? What do you do? And at the end of the game, it's going to give you a personality. Which is strange, isn't it? A little odd thing. I think you have to do it more than once, and it kind of fleshes out your personality more and more until you play it, and then it gives you the final one. So I guess another choice-based game, not that dissimilar from something like Slay the Princess, but, you know, more concrete, more specifically ended, more personality test themed, and you can share your personality with people, and you can see what, you know, what is important, what doesn't. I love personalities, and I love seeing choices. You can see, like, oh, I did a choice that only 16% of people did, or I did one that 3% of people did. I almost want to open this up quickly and see if I can't see those things. Another, like, under $10 game. Another short game as well. Oh, I don't have it fucking installed. Okay, never mind. How long did I play this game? I played it for 3.5 hours. It was fun. I remember liking it a lot, and it obviously was quite a sad game trying to tell this specific story. Not the most compelling. It was fairly compelling, but also that was like in January of last year, or rather, God, sorry, January of this year, a very long time ago. And obviously flawed. I forgot I even played it this year, but I played off. I beat off on stream. Let's just look up off game. And this is the original. I clarify that, because if you look up off, you're going to see off on Steam. I didn't beat off on Steam. I beat off on stream. Very different. I knew that Off was getting a quote-unquote remake. It's not really a remake as much as they're kind of redoing the game with the original creator. They're getting like, oh, we're getting a new soundtrack. Toby Fox was inspired by this game. He volunteered because he knows he basically knows all the founders of Fangamer since they were all Starman.net people. He'll do some of the soundtrack for it. They're redoing the battle system to make it more interesting. All the rest, yada yada yada. They were remaking it, and I was like, you know what? If I want to play Off and play the the modern variant, let me play the original. When Off came out, and I pre-ordered a copy, and I got a physical copy, I got an email saying, we're very sorry, but due to tariffs and other potential delays, we're delaying your game for like 6 months. This was supposed to come into my hands in August, and I'm not getting it until like sometime this year, or next year rather, early next year. Which was like, what the fuck, man? So I have not played Off 2025, the new Off. Which I guess means I get to beat Off on stream again next year. But obviously this is a very cult classic RPG Maker game, very influential. There's a lot. Look at this game. You look at Yume Nikki. Look at all the other games. Inspired tons of people to make stuff, and was shared for free on the internet back in the day. It was that kind of game. So that was quite fun. I think it was all right. Obviously, with modern context and me playing so many other things, it's kind of like the Seinfeld isn't funny paradox, where it's like I've seen games like this, and I've seen games do the things this game does, but better. Doesn't mean it's not good and interesting, but I do think there were other more compelling games. Oh man, different song. Sorry, Galaxy, but why not? Dear Me, I don't know why I chose to play this or why I wanted to, but I did. And I streamed it. And if you watch that stream, it's awful. Because genuinely, I start actually bawling my eyes out. I genuinely start, absolutely, crying. I was awful. It was so, I don't know why it was so upsetting to me, but I was genuinely, bawling. It's only an hour. It's really not long at all. It's very short. But it was, what is the details of it? Even now I don't remember. It was, the very, very short game. All hand-drawn for $8 by, what's his name? What is the guy's name? Come on, tell me about it, Nintendo. What the fuck? The selling point of the game. Watercoloring and rotoscoping. Taisuke Kanasaki, along with some rotoscoping to allow this very pretty, short, very story-based, quote-unquote game. It's not much of a game, to be honest. But it's incredibly compelling. And yeah, I actually fucking cried my eyes out playing this. It was so upsetting and sad. And I think it probably just touched on themes that I was particularly sensitive to. Maybe at the time, or maybe just in general, after, I talk about it on stream you talk about family and if you lose anybody and that kind of stuff. You become a lot more sensitive to certain things. I think that game just hit those in the right way. But yeah, that was, if I look back at that stream, it's just gonna be an hour of me crying through the entire thing and being really sad, while trying to also still make jokes that are somewhat funny. It's probably a funny stream. So this is a game I forgot that I had kind of played until I looked back and I was like, oh yeah, that came out this year. Which was alright. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. How long did I play? How long was this game? I've got 11 hours in this game. And I never even did a secret ending. I was waiting until the secret ending, well, until the VR part was released. And of course, it still hasn't been. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic came out this year. And it was the next big 3D Five Nights at Freddy's game. And everyone was like, oh my god. And to be honest, at least mechanically, it was well executed. I thought the mechanics of the game was fun. Were fun, rather. The location was pretty cool. I enjoyed how they handled a lot of aspects. And some of the mechanics are basically better versions of the kind of mechanics you would have seen in something like Security Breach. The problem with this game is it was a fun, fleshed out game. It kind of just didn't feel like it was much of a Freddy's game. Five Nights at Freddy's. It kind of lost the sauce. It did allow a lot of fun memes, but it kind of lost some of the Freddy sauce. I was like, how is this even... There's not even a Freddy Fazbear fucking animatronic in the game, pretty much. You get some of the other guys. Oh, Kageyama. It is not by any means a bad game, and it's fun, and it handles its elements of scare pretty well. But again, it was all these new creatures, new aspects, and it just didn't feel that much like Freddy's that you would have wanted. The other problem was, the game, when they first showed it off, was in VR. People did demos. They showed it off at, like, a con, and I was like, oh yeah, Doco's here. And I can't show you footage, but I'm telling you, it was in VR, it was this cool thing, and it didn't launch in VR, and it still isn't in VR. Some of the mechanics feel like they should be in VR. Like, you have to click a handle and then turn it to actually turn the handle. And it's like, what? It feels like it was almost designed for VR, and then they didn't launch with it, and they still haven't launched with it. Probably make it more accessible and successful. But I kind of think I would have enjoyed it more. In the end of the day, it was kind of just a mediocre game. I feel like it could have been... Security Breach stuck with people because it was silly and fun and utilized the characters in new ways, but they were still characters we knew, with personalities we knew. This one didn't have you with a fun Gregory, you know, as with you all the time. You didn't have any of that. Arguably, this is scarier than Security Breach, which is, I think, undoubtedly true, because Security Breach isn't very scary at all. But maybe a little less fun in that aspect, and I suppose that made it a little disappointing. I appreciate them doing something new, and I appreciate the fact that they at least made a quality game. And maybe I'd see more of it. But yeah, that came out this year. I don't think it stuck with me enough for it to be in the top of the list at all, but it was worth it, and it was good. So I figured it was worth pointing out. Ah. Next game was The New Flesh. Which, let me pull up again. Another game on this list. You're going to see a trend if I show you images of this game. Which I did everything in. Good Secret of the Mimic game, but not great at being a Five Nights at Freddy's. Secret of the Mimic, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. This is The New Flesh, which is free. It is free. You can play this right now for free on Steam. Unless you want to buy the Supporters Pack, which I don't think gives you any new content, really, but... another walking simulator type game. Where you go around and you do things. And a guy moans when you stick his hand in his orifice. Tip for Anna, always bring ketchup and mustard with you so you will never eat barbecue. That's a good idea. I love this game, for many reasons, one of which I love walking simulators. I love weird walking simulators. Again, I said you'll notice a trend. Please, if you have a weird walking simulator, send it my way, I'll play it. The other reason I like this game is because this game is made for and entirely starring all of the music, or most of the music, from one of my favorite bands. Including showing off new songs that haven't actually fully been released yet, because their album hasn't come out yet. The band being Redbox. And a part of this game is collecting music from periodic parts of the game. It is stellar, it is excellent, and it is a wonderful visual and musical experience showcasing a band that I love. And obviously, because I knew the band, the game was more fun. I knew all these references. And I knew all these things, like King Rat Pizza. You know, that's just a fucking German reference. I mean, Vinny Vinesauce here, the guy who's the lead singer of Redvox and also my most watched streamer this year, is friends with German, so that's not surprising. But I genuinely love this music a lot. And knowing all of these songs, knowing all of these albums, and being able to point out, yeah, this and that, made this very fun to play and also very fun to stream. It's just cool to experience music in this kind of a way. I like how this trailer had none of the music. I was kind of hoping it would play some. But genuinely cool and genuinely very creative. And it's fucking free. Again, you give me a cool, wacky walking simulator, I'm gonna love it. Like Goat Simulator? I played it before. It's fun. I actually do love Goat Simulator. It's just a fun, stupid game to do random shit in. But yeah, excellent. Ooh! Or Caterpillar. Was surprising in how excellent it was. It was genuinely... I mean, it was probably the best puzzle game I played this year, and I'm a fan of puzzle games. Ooh. 3.5 hours, did all chill achievements. And again, I'm a smart fellow. If you're stupid, this game might take longer. I actually think I'm pretty good at puzzle games. Very tightly designed. This game is exceptionally well designed. It is fantastic. It has such a very base amount of mechanics that I adored. Very simple. I can't possibly portray to you how good this game is by visuals, because I didn't get it till I played it. I was like, this game will be fine. And then I played it, and I was like, oh my god, this game is amazing. There's a distinct, concrete amount of puzzles in a world you're exploring. You go from room to room and place to place to get to the end, to resolve the game. You have a bomb that you can place, and it explodes you. Sorry, beautiful FF7 music. Shut up for seconds. Mechanic, you put a bomb, the bomb can blast you around. You can also put bombs as little things, and then blow them up later. You can launch bombs. You can use that bomb that way, then launch you the other way. Again, that's just scratching the surface. It utilizes this mechanic in tons of ways you wouldn't even imagine, and adds new mechanics you wouldn't imagine, and builds on it, and builds on it. It's exceptionally good. I can't tell you how fun and remarkably well designed these puzzles are. And I'm a fan of, I love puzzle games. My favorite game of last year was a puzzle game. So it shouldn't be surprising with how positive I am of this game. This could have made my top 10, but it's very short. It is very short. And I just wasn't certain if it was better than the other experiences I've had. This was the other game I played. Wasn't as good. Arguably more platformy and therefore more fun, but actually less fun as a puzzle game. This game is genuinely just better. It's such an incredibly good puzzle game. We talked about it before, but Skate Story seems like it has weird walking sim vibes. I really should check it out. I know I should. Probably not in my wish list. If you recommend me a game, I'll put it on my wish list. Doesn't mean I'll pick it up anytime soon. Ironically, I think it might have... Also, it's $20 fucking. Sorry, but that is a lot of money for a game. Especially if it's going to be a one-off. Probably won't be, but... I'd have to keep it in mind. And yes, there was one puzzle I got stuck on, but that's part of puzzle games. You're going to get stuck in puzzles in puzzle games. No matter what puzzle game I play, I'm going to get stuck on it. At some point, there's going to be one puzzle where it's like, oh fuck, my brain's not working on it yet. I'll put it on my wish list. If it ever goes on sale, I'll consider it. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I don't think I'm the biggest Warriors fan in general. Obviously, Hyrule Warriors has Zelda, and that makes it more appealing. But after I almost didn't buy this game, and there was a big part of me that was like, I don't know if I want this game. To be honest. I didn't love the previous Hyrule Warriors, which was visually very similar to this one. And they started going away from the Warriors part of Hyrule Warriors, for better or for worse. The aspects of Hyrule Warriors original that was very fun was the Warriors part, where you could capture bases and outposts and stuff. They kind of just were going away with that. And I was like, do I want this game? I kind of feel like this isn't... I know it's Zelda related, but I don't know. But then reviews started coming in. People were telling me, and I was seeing, I'm like, wow, no, this game runs the best of any game. It looks really good. It feels like Zelda. It is fun. It is enjoyable. It handles itself well. It might be the best Warriors game. And so I was like, you know what? I wasn't initially going to get this. But something made me change my mind. And I ended up doing it. And to be honest, I enjoyed it. I think every complaint I mentioned is still there. I'm still not a big Warriors fan. And all the issues people have with Warriors games, being repetitive, being button mashy, those are all true. But for some reason, I like this one more than the previous. I enjoyed the mechanics more. Despite the fact that I didn't do as much of the strategic outpost stuff that I liked. I don't think it's better than the original Hyrule Warriors, which is all just fan service, but I think it was still fun. I still like this game, and it managed to tell a compelling story on its own that wasn't trying to retcon Breath of the Wild like the previous one did. It told a story on its own with its own characters in a way that was enjoyable. So with that in mind, I quite liked it. A bit of a surprise, and a game I actually managed to play all of and beat. It doesn't deserve to be in the top 10. And I'll say that outright. But I still think it's worth mentioning because it was very good. Come on, my link away my real ones. Yeah. Pokemon Legends ZA. There was a part of me that wondered whether or not I should put this in my top 10 or not. And I think not is the right decision. I've said it before, I'm not a big Pokemon fan. I liked Arceus, and I liked some of the Pokemon games I've played. I'm not someone to make huge complaints about Pokemon, because I'm not hardcore fans like many other people. But I have often been vocal about being like, this game, I don't care about this Pokemon game, it looks like shit, it looks like trash. It looks like they spent no money on it, whatever. And you might say, well, why did you pick up ZA? And I say this with all sincerity, I think this game looked better than the previous games they had done. It ran at a solid frame per second, it had a consistent art style, it didn't have any glaring issues or bugs, or visual glitches, or any of those things. So it was at least polished. I can't tell you that it's the most visually stunning game I've played this year. That will probably go to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Not maybe not in the open world, but in the cutscenes, that game is insane. Obviously, I cannot tell you that this game has the most compelling story. But also, again, I don't often find that many Pokemon stories that compelling, and this one wasn't any different. Other people feel differently, and that's fair. People have different things that they respond well to, and don't respond well to. I don't think it's bad, by the way. I haven't even finished it. I think I had probably one big stream left of it. So maybe this weekend I'll finish it off. Maybe, fuck it, who knows? I could do it tomorrow if I want to. I got the day off tomorrow, so it's fine. But I enjoyed Pokemon Legends ZA. And I think there's a lot of aspects that it does better than the previous. And better than Arceus. However, one of the crucial things is the priority in Legends ZA is battling. The game and the quest and fundamentally everything about it is based around battling. Which is, to be fair, what Pokemon is based around. My favorite aspect of Legends Arceus was not the battling. And to be fair, the battling is way better in this game than in Arceus. But my favorite aspect of Arceus was exploring and finding and catching Pokemon. And you can still do that. But the priorities in this game clearly have shifted. So the priorities of the things I actually liked more are less. Everything that's in ZA I think is pretty good. And I would genuinely recommend it. I know I have some friends who didn't think it was worth their time. Once I beat it, I'll probably lend it to one of them. And they can play it themselves and decide if it's shit or not. I think it's a good game. I'm sure other people can have other points about it. It was not my favorite game of the year. It wasn't in my top 10, and I still don't think it tops a game like Arceus in terms of what I liked. But I do think, for example, it looks visually better than Arceus, and it runs better, so fair enough. I give them, they did the, I guess some people would say the bare minimum, but they did enough for me to buy in. As a critical person, when it comes to Pokemon, I think it's fine and good, and I enjoyed it. And I'm still kind of surprised how many people are giving this game as much shit as it's getting. When you look at the game that came before, or the game that came before that, but it's like, whatever. Don't ask me about Pokemon fans. I don't know. I'm an outsider here. I just buy games that I think are worth my money, and either they are or they aren't. The last... Actually, before I do this, I gotta get something. Like all of a sudden my nose, like, fucking clogged up. I'm speaking too much. Seems like I made it into your top 9, but it's not very top of that. That's fair. Sorry, I can get some sinus spray. Or Sinex, which is just salt water that you spray up your nose and it alleviates your issues. It's amazing. Okay, I probably don't want to be playing Uematsu's World Crisis from the end of the game right now. Let's switch that song. Sorry. Okay. I shouldn't laugh at this, but the name of the song. Okay, do I have the album? The fucking I should bring it into this scene. It makes me laugh every time, and I can't help it. And it's just the song name. There it is. Gotta add color source. There we go. Sorry, I'm just doing something so you can actually read the text. Very shit and jank, but it's whatever. The name of the song is called Goodbye Twink. Listen, it's a real song on the Paper Mario 64 soundtrack about the character in the game called Twink. It is a normal song, it is a normal name, it is a normal character. It's like a twinkly star named Twink. It's perfectly normal. But every time the song Goodbye Twink shows up on my feed and I start seeing the text flash at me, Goodbye Twink, I can't help but laugh. I just had to share that because it's very funny. Goodbye Twink. God, how many video game characters? I'm ushering them out of the year. This is for everybody. Everybody, right now, if you're watching this, goodbye. Goodbye, Twink. It's the end of the year. It's my way of saying goodbye. Sorry. The last game on the... whatever the fuck this category is. It's, games that maybe potentially could have been on the list. Which probably also, I don't think Pokemon deserves to be on the list. Never mind. I don't, it doesn't. Wish upon the New Year's star. Was my side. Or me side. I don't think I ever knew how to actually pronounce the game. Which I played for Valentine's Day this year, which is a little meta, quote-unquote horror game with some fun little ideas, which I played for about 8 hours. I think it's... Listen, you don't understand how difficult it was for the spacing. It just didn't work right. I don't know why. I literally couldn't get it to fix. This is fucking... But you play a game, and then you go into the game, and you find this lady, and she's like, I'm your virtual girlfriend, but you're in my virtual world now. Hey, Cappy Mita. And then you go explore, and then there's, like, Mitas everywhere, and then one of them is fucking freaky. It's just... You think it's like Weeb game, but then it's also, like, weird meta game that has, like, a lore and story, and it goes deep into something. Obviously, it has inspirations from things like Doki Doki. Not as good as Doki Doki necessarily, but it's a 3D game with cool exploration. It's fun. I genuinely enjoyed it. I actually don't really have many marks against it. The only mark you could say is it's maybe derivative, but it does its own thing. So it's not really a mark against it. You want me to fix this? I literally can't. I couldn't fix it. I don't know why it didn't line up. It's all in a paragraph, and the paragraphs didn't work. I can't explain it to you. But yeah, it was fine. It was good. I would have played it again if they had the normal update, but it never happened. Which means I don't know what I'm going to play for Valentine's Day next year. I'm going to do a real IRL date or something. Who knows? But yeah, that was my list of those. Even more games I played this year. Also, you're going to notice inconsistent spacing or sizing. Because this was a fucking freak. Other random games I played this year that maybe just weren't quite good enough, or maybe for one reason or another I didn't feel like they were worth putting on the list. Sometimes they were good enough, but they were also like, you know, different. First one, Lush Foil Photography Sim. Very realistic, very lifelike photography simulator. It's fun, but that's what it is. You explore a real-world space in a game, and you get to take photos with realistic camera controls and very meticulously designed worlds based on real places with real photos. It's quite cool. But of course, you can get a little tired of it, and in order to progress, you have to take specific photos of specific things, and that's quite a little tedious when you have to walk around slowly through these areas. So a lot of it I didn't end up doing. It was a fun stream. When I streamed it, I don't know why, I became incredibly introspective. So that if you want to go on that stream and hear me talk about life and other things, that's a good stream to watch. Excuse me. But yeah, so that was fine. Sonic Adventure. I feel like this game probably might even deserve to be higher. Higher, as in anywhere besides the third list, which is just any game that I played this year, basically. Because I did enjoy it. I really did. It was fun. But I guess it just didn't stick with me like any of the other games. And it doesn't have any recency bias to bring it higher. So it kind of just ended up here. It's fine. It was good. I enjoyed it. Good enough. We'll see what happens when I play Sonic Adventure 2. Again, as much as I think they're great and I think they're fun, I don't think they're going to end up ever in my favorite games ever lists. Sorry, Sonic. You're not bad. You're actually... I don't even have any marks against you, really. But I think you're just fine. I guess I could say Sonic Adventure can be a little repetitive and you keep playing the same things again with different characters. But... well, Half-Life, again, I'm going in order, first of all, but I can explain Half-Life right now. That is not Half-Life 2. That is Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2. I played Half-Life 2 last year, and that was on my Games of the Year list. Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2 are what? Expansions, quote-unquote, DLC, quote-unquote, episodes. They're not full games. And they're part of a game that I had already played. All the aspects of Half-Life Episode 1 and 2 are the same things that I had played in Half-Life, so I didn't really think I can count those as new games. So I put it here. I can tell you that Half-Life Episode 1 and Half-Life Episode 2 were some of the funnest times I've had this year. I thought they were incredibly fun, and I enjoyed them thoroughly all the way throughout. Like Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. I count Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 a little differently because that game officially launched and I paid money for it this year. That's enough. Distinction. And also, I guess, yes, maybe you're right. But for me, it was more like I hadn't finished Half-Life 2, basically. I was waiting for to do the DLC. Versus Chapter 3 and 4, they feel like every time a chapter comes out, it's basically a new game. And maybe that's splitting hairs, and maybe you're right, but I think I feel like it felt different. Especially since Half-Life 2 had been released for years, along with Episode 1 and 2. Maybe it would have been different if it was still coming out, and they were brand new, but if I were to change the bounds, then maybe Half-Life 1 and 2, Episode 1 and Episode 2, might have made it on the list somewhere. Because I thought they were fun. Because it was more Half-Life 2, which is a game I really, really enjoy. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. I didn't really play a lot of this. And it wasn't an expensive game, so I don't feel like I lost money on it or anything like that, but I meant to play more. I think I just haven't ever played an Elder Scrolls game long enough for it to get its hooks into me. Not that it isn't enjoyable, because it is, I guess. But I think there's a part of the game where I don't know if I fully get it. I don't know if I get the loop, or the exploratory part, or what pushes you forward. And it's not like I've never played an open world game, but I've been spoiled by some of the ones I have played. You can look at Breath or Tears and be like, man, what a fucking great game, where it's just fun to explore and there's fun stuff to do and see and interact with. Because of how interactive the world is in Breath and Tears, you take for granted the fact that it's just, you can just do things. Whereas in Oblivion, it's the kind of game where there's a big open world and stuff, but you kind of have to go to specific locations to do things that matter. Otherwise, you're just running through an environment to get to, to talk to a person or go to a place. And maybe you'll stumble across something new, but what's the incentive to do those things? What's the compelling part? What are you hoping to find? I don't know. And a part of me just thinks I need to play more. If I played more, if I played for a more larger amount of time, I could get into the world and get into the characters a bit more and understand what the hell's going on. And it would lead me to be able to get it, but I just haven't given it the time yet. Maybe I'd play more this year. I kind of meant to. There was a part of me that was like, maybe I'm going to play it on the weekends, and I just never did. But it's a very good remaster. To a T was a weird game made by Keita Takahashi, the guy who made a variety of games, but obviously most known for Katamari. Game flopped, by the way. Now he's moving back to Japan. He's leaving America, and he's saying, everything's expensive. I gotta go back home. The game didn't do well. I wish I could work in Katamari again, which is quite sad, but he makes weird games. He makes weird experimental games that aren't always very fun. I appreciated what he had done. I don't think the game was exceptionally fun. Yeah, it sucks. I know it does. It does suck. I'm not necessarily surprised. He doesn't make standard games. And I enjoyed the game for what it was. I don't think it was the most fun game, but it was an interesting game. What was it? It was like, I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, he said it didn't sell well enough. He moved back to Japan with his family, and he's unsure if he's going to stay in the industry. And he also, he said in interviews that he wishes he still had the Katamari Damacy IP. Apparently he has no ideas for Katamari, but he doesn't have the IP anymore, so he can't do it. But yeah, he might be done with games because he doesn't know if he can even stay in the industry anymore. But it's a fine, well-polished game, and it has a song by Rebecca Sugar in it, which is interesting. But so it's all right. World of Goo, great game. Game I had never played. Fun little puzzly, physics-y game. Kind of game I would have loved in the 2000s. Made by a studio I like. But it wasn't like the groundbreaking to me. It was just like, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and it was good. It was a nice short little experience. That's about it. Super 10-pin was like wacky Y2K bowling. Speaking of which, there was another Y2K bowling game, or marble game, that I should also play. For reference, it looks like this. And you have like the Vaporwave guy and this. Wacky, fun, cool bowling game with like abilities and mechanics. The kind of game you would find pre-installed on a PC back in the day. Ooh. Like that. But As cool as its aesthetic was, I don't think the game was actually that fun. I got a little... I was like, oh, it's whatever. I don't feel the urge to replay it, necessarily. So, not bad, but not stunningly great. It just wasn't compelling enough for me to keep playing it more than what I had done. I don't know what the hell happened. I can feel like a frog in my throat right now. Maybe it's because I've been speaking too much, but... or maybe I just need water. Give me a second. Oh my god, very unpleasant. I'm gonna probably just give myself hiccups, but it's fine. Beautiful. But yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but Electhead was the subpar version of the game, the puzzle game from earlier. Ooh. Say the princess be next, please? What next what? I mean, it's number 2 in the games I played this year. If you mean playing, well, I already played it. I wouldn't mind playing it again, necessarily, but... yeah, if you want to watch my streams of it, I played it completely blind. It's one of my favorite streams I've done this year. It's really good. It's somewhere on the channel. I loved it. It was brilliant. I talked about it earlier, but I really, really, really liked the game. It was such out of left field. It was a game I didn't know anything about and I didn't expect. Brilliant game. But yeah, from the mediocre games, Electhead was fine. It was just fine. It was a pretty good puzzle game, just not as good as Ooh. So playing that after Ooh just made it seem worse. I beat Castlevania. The original. Bye, family's coming over. Good night. Castlevania. And imagine being with your family on New Year's, and not just being in your apartment. But yeah, Castlevania is a game I had played before, which was probably obvious that I tore through or knew how to get through the first couple levels. But then the game got to the parts I didn't know because the game's parts were hard, and the game was really hard. The game's fucking brutal, dude. Some of those last sections are genuinely very difficult and kind of bullshit in some aspects. I did it. I still beat the game after lots and lots of effort, and I'm satisfied with that, and I enjoyed it. A part of me just feels, though, again, Ninja Gaiden was influenced by Castlevania. You can see that by the mechanics, but Ninja Gaiden is just a better game. It's more fun. Oh god, jeez. I've just got, like, shit in my nose right now. Not literal feces, you know what I mean. Am I gonna be okay? No. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. I've always had sinus problems. it just feels like my nose are full and my throat is like got stuff dripping on it, and it's not. But my nose is also like not. There's nothing in there. I'm not sneezing anything out. I've got nose constipation, and it's very uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. It's incredibly unpleasant. It's not painful. I'm not bleeding, and it's not like a sore throat or anything, or like a malaise. But it's just like weird feeling and not a good feeling. The only reason it's bothering me is because it's kind of making it like weirdly difficult to speak a little bit. It's the kind of thing where you want to like spit out something, but there's nothing in my throat to spit out. Maybe I'm just very dehydrated. It could genuinely just be I'm not drinking enough water. And haven't been. Fall Structor, which was just a game. It was like a platformer, but you don't jump really, you just fall. It was fun. Weird one-off game. There's not much more to say about it. Sushi Ben was a potentially fun VR game. It was an indie VR game, and I thought that was cool and neat to check out. And it promised a lot, and everyone was like, oh, this game's gonna be cool. It's got all these cool mini-games and things. The problem was all the mini-games sucked. Sorry, Sushi Ben. You had all these cool mini-games that you could utilize being in VR, and a lot of them didn't. Some of them did, but you didn't get to use them very often. Like shooting a bow and arrow could have been fun if you used them more often. You didn't. There was ping pong, but you didn't actually get to play real ping pong. And I was like, why? You couldn't do actual ping pong in the fucking ping pong minigame? Other than that, though, I thought it was a very pretty game. Also, yes, it was very unstable, and it crashed, and it was buggy, which was unfortunate as well. It was a cool game, it had nice music, it was trying to tell a cool story, it had a lot of notable voice actors in it, and it was pretty. So it was very enjoyable to be in it, and to exist in the world. But I think the gameplay didn't have enough, and it was prone to crashes and resets and soft locks, which made it unfortunate. And on the whole, it could have been better. Could have been worse. Dream Core. Which was... That's right, everybody. Liminal space game. Because I'm a fucking stupid idiot, and I can't get over that. And I just fucking can't stop playing liminal space games. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I don't get it. I don't know what's wrong. I can't stop. I can't stop. And every one could be worse than the last, and I still can't stop. I believe this is the one that I liked mostly, and then got horribly stuck. Yes, this was the one I initially liked. Where it started off pretty good, and I was like, you know what, it's doing the pool rooms in a way I've never seen before, and I like it. And then they had some other aspects that I liked, and I thought it was cool. And then they got to Suburb Hell, which is a cool idea, and a cool aesthetic. But I just got so fucking stuck. I got stuck forever. And I couldn't get out, and the endless houses were kind of boring, and I just couldn't figure out where the fuck to go. It underutilized Eternal Suburbia. It just wasn't that good. There were times when it became more interesting when it got inside, and there was like a back, oh, here's the security office and stuff like that. But in general, it was like, God, man, I love liminal space stuff. But a lot of them make some of the same mistakes that they all do. Sometimes they make different ones. Sometimes it's very mid. So that one was just disappointing. Also, my nose is feeling better. A little bit. I do need more water, because I'm literally out. Okay. Now I'm literally out. Just ponder in the liminal space. I'd love to be there. There we go. Gonna suck down as much liquid as I can. Oh, Gnomeville. Fuck yeah, dude. I can't wait for Outcore's creators to have their second game. It looks great. Unrelated, but actually a great indie game I'm looking forward to. It's called Deadwatch. But yeah, Submachine Legacy was another one I played this year, which I should continue. It is a Steam version, a great collection of a series of point-and-click flash games, all done with hand-drawn art that I actually love. It is a classic from childhood that I really enjoy. I love. Very influential to me. The way they tell their story, the way that they have their style and their art and their puzzles. Big fan. I finally checked it out. I should continue it, but again, I mean, it's a collection of games that I'd already played, so I don't know if that really deserved to be up there very high. I already liked them, I already knew I did, so that's not surprising. LiDAR Exploration Program is another case of something that's very cool and visually neat, but also just kind of boring after a while. There's a couple games on the list that are just like that, where it's like, it's great, and it's very cool, and it's neat to check out, but for a full game, it's like, oh, I'm kind of done. It's lost its enjoyment, somehow. With the visual style, you're still exploring, but I think it's inherently a little less fun to explore than other places, in other games. And mechanically, you don't really do much. You call it a walking simulator with extra little silly mechanics, but I do think I got a little tired of it. Again, and there's plenty of games that are like that with walking simulators and little basic mechanics that I played. But it just didn't hold me as well as it could have, despite having a very fun and cool mechanic in it that I thought was very neat. Resident Evil. To be honest, Resident Evil probably shouldn't be down here. It should probably be up higher, as I did actually genuinely enjoy Resident Evil. I don't know. I don't think Resident Evil deserves to be in my top 10 of games I played this year. But you know what? It probably does deserve to be on this list. My only problem is I can't fucking put everything on this list. Jesus. There's only so many games I can fit on this list. Resident Evil is higher than a lot of the other ones that are on this page. Because it's good. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I really liked it. I got into the mechanics. Some parts of it were frustrating, but I loved exploring and finding the secrets. But again, I played too many games this year. They all can't be number 1. They all can't be number 10. It might deserve to be in the other list and not this one, but I liked it. It was my first Resident Evil game. I had tried to play it before. So technically, it wasn't my first time playing it. I didn't get very far. I tried streaming it before. I didn't get very far. This is the first time I played it and beat it. I think combat is an essential part of the game because it gives it its quote-unquote tension. The fact that you can die. But I also think the combat's not very fun. Kind of annoying. And not easy to, like... It's not inherently fun to do it. So when you're doing something like a boss fight, it's just not fun. It can sometimes be tedious and janky and weird. So the part of it that can be enjoyable is the same part of it that makes it not enjoyable. But I get why it's there, because you need something to hurt you so that it's stressful to go from place to place. To incentivize you to be careful and run around and limit your resources and whatever, yada yada yada. And when you get strong items to help you, then it makes things seem easier. I get it. It's survival horror, I get it, and it was fun. And I really liked it. Again, if you want something like Resident Evil, but without some of the combat, but more puzzles, then play Lorelei. Very true. Patrick's Parabox I played once, and I forgot about, which is a shame, because it's a very good puzzle game that I probably should have played more. It's another clever mechanical puzzle game. The kind of puzzle game I like. Won many awards, if you look at this. It is a puzzle within a puzzle. The box you're in is a box in the game, which you can push around and then physically move in and out of. You go down, you go in there. See, look how clever it is. It is a very clever puzzle game with a lot of those moments that make you go, oh, that kind of a game. And I love games like that. But, of course, I only played it once at the very beginning of the year. I don't think I did everything in it because it's probably a longer game. And I can't really give it more than that. But it was cool and clever. Maybe if I played it more and played it more recently. But it's a more open-ended game with a lot more puzzles. Maybe if it was more higher paced, it would have been higher up. I don't know. For whatever reason, this one just didn't stick with me as much, and I didn't remember it as much. Maybe just that one mechanic wasn't enough to make it cooler, or maybe better paced or balanced than something like Ooh did. But it was still good. So I can't give too much flack to it. Ooh. That's your chance, everybody. Now is your chance. Big shot. Sorry. It hits you. You can't get over the music, man. But yeah, it was fun. Hive Swap. Not a new game. Homestuck game with different characters completely, but Homestuck world, right? Whatever. They have trolls and they have humans and similar concepts. Hadn't played it. Finally decided to play it for Homestuck Day this year. Haven't played Chapter 2. I'll do it next year. And funny, Chapter 3 has been in stasis for many, many years. People just figured, we're not getting it. The companies, there's issues, whatever. But Homestuck has had a resurgence this year where they're pushing more with the Homestuck sequel beyond canon. They're redoing the website and all the rest that has had issues for years, there was some drama with that because they got rid of the old websites that banned websites people used or whatever, so they could do their legit one. All sorts of drama, whatever. But recently, they're basically confirmed that they're working on Chapter 3. They already had a demo out, so it's existing. It's real. Hive Swap will be finished, I suppose, at some point. Again, as I'm not someone who played it all the way through, I don't know what they're waiting for. But it's a fun point and click with Homestuck relating things. I will play it again next year for Chapter 2. It should be fun. Nothing more than that, to be honest. Although I think there was one point where I got incredibly stuck, and I just couldn't figure out what the fuck to do. Which always burns you out, but, you do what you can. Wow, that's funny. We're about to talk about Donkey Kong Country. Which is a great game. I'm looking for a good song. This song! Bum, 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 bum. Love this song. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Yes, that's right, everybody. This game that I played this year, that everyone was like, fuck this game. It should have been a pack-in. I'm not surprised it wasn't a pack-in. Nintendo doesn't really do pack-ins. Doesn't mean they can't or shouldn't, and doesn't mean they haven't. But the only real instance that I can think of for a home console that did a pack-in was the Wii. And that was heavily pushed by Reggie, and was a very difficult ask, because Nintendo was like, well, why? We made a game. Why wouldn't we sell it? They didn't get it. If you bought the deluxe edition of the Wii U, you got Nintendo Land, but that's the deluxe edition. Normally, you didn't. You got Nintendo Land. Obviously, the Switch had no pack-in. People felt like this game wasn't worth $10 because they looked at it and was like, oh, it doesn't look like it has much in it. Truth be told, it's kind of a lengthy game. There's a lot of content in it. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even seen. It's just, is it worth it to buy if you don't give a shit about any of it? Again, you're saying bundles. Those are bundles. We had the Mario Kart World bundle. I mean, versus it coming with the system. DS having a demo? I didn't get a fucking Metroid DS demo. When I got my DS as a kid, it didn't come with any games. The only game I got was the one my parents bought me for Christmas, which was Alvin and the Chipmunks. Which is not a great game. One day I'll stream it and show you how fucking terrible it is. Launch Systems had the demo. I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe so. I never got anything for it. But I mean, they have bundles. They always do. But a game that comes for free for your system, a full game, not the most common. They should. And a lot of people just felt like it was cheap enough to be warranted. When I say bundle, I mean physically in the box. You could buy bundles with it in the box. I'm pretty sure when I got the bundle, the deluxe for the Wii U, it had Nintendo Land in the box. I mean, I get your point, but I'm sure it was probably fundamentally the same idea of, yeah, you could get a different version of it that comes with it. And maybe it's a little more expensive, but maybe it's a better deal. Because there is not a version of the Wii that didn't come with it. You didn't buy the system and then be like, I want the Wii Sports Bundle. No, you just bought the system. It came with every copy of the system. It was a pack-in title. Not a version, not a variant, not a bundle. Where maybe you get a different bundle with a different game. This is where, no matter what you bought, maybe you could even buy a Wii bundle. You could buy a Wii bundle. I'm pretty sure they had Wii bundles with stuff like Mario Kart. Even with that, you were still going to get Wii Sports. Came with the system. Actually, I shouldn't say that because maybe they decided that they did bundles, they just got rid of it, who knows. But every default version of the system. I could be speaking on my ass here. Anyways, that's also not the point. The point I want to make is that Nintendo Switch 2 is $10. It's kind of a lengthy game. There's a lot to read, and there are quizzes, and there's a lot of mini-games. And some of those mini-games are quite hard. Some of them are quite interesting. For what it has on offer, there's not a lot, but it's lengthy. And I thought it was worth the time and the money. It's not very expensive. Here's the thing, is that not everyone is going to want it. And to those people I say, well then great, don't buy it, fucking idiots. I bought it because I wanted it. If you don't want to read about how the system was developed and interesting things about how it functions in a technical level, not on a, here's a tutorial, but like on a, here's how our chipset works. We designed this with a notch here so that it doesn't have this problem. Hi, by the way, do you want to try this cool demo about showcasing that function? Like, yeah, okay. That's what it is. If you don't want to see that, you get interesting insights into the development process, then don't buy it. $10, don't worry about it. For me, it wasn't a big deal. People were just upset about how expensive everything was. But I think if I recall at my time at GameStop, there were systems that Wii without it. If that's correct, then fair enough. I might be wrong. But I thought it was sold specifically as a pack-in. And who knows? Maybe they stopped after a while. But I mean, I know they had the red Wii, which was like, was it like, I don't know what the deal with that one was, but that was the mini. That was the mini. That's right. So I can't say the specifics. I don't know enough. But regardless, I think it's a fine game. I get what it is, and I get why they made it, and I think it's quite fun. And also, it's not a typical pack-in game. People saying, I want it to be a pack-in game. Well, it's like, well, no, it's not like a Wii Sports, or a Nintendo Land, or Astro Bot. The original Astro Bot, not the full-length version. It's like, it's a weird kind of game for nerds who want to dig into the system. It could still have it as a pack-in, and I think people would check it, but also it's not really a pack-in game. It's not appealing to most people. But it's whatever. It's not a system seller by any means. But I thought it was fine and fun enough. Another game I played this year is Donkey Kong Country. And this is a game I had played before. Decently, maybe halfway through, but I'd never beaten. I'd played through and I'd have fun enjoying it, and then I never finished it. Part of that probably made it easier on me to beat it, because I'd played through these levels and experienced some of the issues. It is also a hard game. I got through the first, ironically, or maybe not ironically, funnily enough, that's a better suitable word. Funnily enough, it was very much like Castlevania in the sense that I did well for the first 70%. Maybe 65, 70%. I did well, because I was like, I know this stuff, I'm kind of acquainted with some of this, and I can do this. This is fine. This is fun. And then the latter 35, 30, 25% of the game got way harder. And I struggled, and I had to fucking spend a lot of time going through these levels. On stream, everyone saw it. I'm proud to have beaten it. They were fun, they were enjoyable, but they get kinda hard. It opens up the door, I can finally play Donkey Kong Country 2. Donkey Kong Country 3, which fucking is an awful game from what I hear. But, it's a good game. I enjoy it. I like it. On a similar tangent, Kirby 64. No, by no means a perfect game. It follows suit with the Kirby Stream Land 2 and Kirby Stream Land 3 idea and formula, with some new things. There are aspects of this game I liked more than Dreamland 1 and 2. And there's a couple that I think... No, actually, you know what? I think, in general, I probably like this more than Kirby Stream Land 1 and 2. Sorry, 2 and 3, rather. It has moves and move creation, which is fun, but at the same time, it just kind of just feels like moves. It has the same puzzly aspects of trying to get an arbitrary challenge in each level, to get the arbitrary item, to get the final boss. Some of which was fine and clever, and some of which was like, what the fuck? I do like aspects of it with it being in 3D. Also, welcome back. Because it, again, using the camera angles in clever ways. And it had good music as well. Playing that before Forgotten Land made me realize, man, yeah, I see some evolution here in the way it handles the camera. But it was slow, it could be a little annoying, but it's also not very long. And it's not too hard, and mostly pretty fun. In general, I enjoyed it. But also, any issues I had with Dreamland 2 and Dreamland 3 were still present. To a similar, maybe a lesser degree, depending on what it was, but kind of that you know, was fine. I enjoyed it, though. Okay, I cannot listen to I Sit Down and Koopa Peach. You want to hear this song? I sit down when I pee. I love this song. There's nothing crazy about me. I love this. I don't know why. There's nothing that crazy about me. I'm just taking a whiz. Mind your own biz. Why is everybody always looking at me? Mind your own biz. Why is everybody always staring at me? Staring at me. Sorry, I got it wrong. I'm fighting Actor Man and Silk Song right now. Call them Actor Man because I've said his actual name. That would be spoilers. Fair. I might play it one day. Are you sitting down? I'm sitting down. And are you making brown? I'm not making brown. Just lemonade. I'm sitting down. Nothing wrong with sitting down when you gotta take a piss. Take this lesson from Koopa Beach. Just telling you right now. Why don't you stand like a regular man? Then you can pee in the urinal can. If you really want to know why I'm sitting strong, I just can't stand. Touching my dog. Thanks, Tim and Eric. Wow. It was straight into fucking Super Mario Kart music. Where was I? Once Upon a Katamari. A good Katamari game, but to be honest, not really any different from the other ones. A part of me feels like I could have, and maybe this is a little harsh, a part of me feels like I could have just replayed one of the Katamari games I already owned and gotten the same experience. I would have maybe forgotten some of the levels and I could have just done those again. It was still fun. You know, new levels, and new music, new ideas, whatever. Not many new ideas, a lot of them came from other games, but in general, it's like, it was fine. But it's not like the biggest revolution in Katamari. It was just like, it's another Katamari game. It was fun. Enjoyed it well enough. At this point, they're all kind of blending together. So if there is another new one, I might have to think about it. Okay, I'm trying to speak, man. Shut up. We'll have nice baby Route 2 music. Yeah, but if there's another new Katamari game, I'd have to look at it and be like, is it worth getting, or is it going to be the same as before? Because it is kind of, they're samey a little bit. I said it before, but they could just do one Katamari game, and they occasionally add new levels, maybe DLC kind of a thing. Live service game. Any game that has a very similar gameplay style that doesn't change much throughout a series would just warrant for something like that, where it's like you just dip in when you want it. Although, you know, versus just releasing new games continually, because they're not always going to sell well. Maybe that's wrong, but you know, if it's the same game or same engine, then it's not really worth it, is it? But it was still fun, and I still enjoyed it. I don't want to be harsh on it. I still enjoyed the game. Blippo Plus. Is it a game? It came out on the Playdate and on Steam. But there's, aside from the interactivity of changing the channel on fictional alien planets, there is almost no gameplay here. At all. Like, whatsoever. So you ask yourself, well, okay, what the fuck? Is it a game? And the answer is, I don't know. I guess. However, it's cool. They filmed, like, weeks of fucking footage of different fake virtual alien TV channels. I didn't finish it, by the way. I need to. At some point, I'm going to go through the latter half of Blippo and see the ending. Ironically, it's almost more stressful than a normal game when it comes to streaming it, because I actually have to be entertaining and talk and say stuff. Because otherwise, I'm just watching TV, and that's not very fun. Whereas a game can hold your attention a little bit with the gameplay. Blippo, if I want it to be, you know, color commentary, I gotta fucking make stuff. And interrupting a fucking TV show is difficult. But it was cool, and it's fun. It's right up my alley. It's weird. I'm a freak. And I'm a freak, and I love weird stuff, okay? Give me anything weird and shove it down my mouth. But it was cool. Last game on the list is Samogo Legacy Collection. And this one conflicts me because I love it. I think it's an excellent collection of games in an incredibly high quality packaging. I probably feel like it probably deserves to... I probably feel like it deserves to be up here in the second list of might deserve to be on the list. Because it is excellent. But the problem is, with all of its additions and extras, but it is a collection. It is a collection of games. Games I've played in their original fashion. Not remakes, not remasters. I guess you could call them remasters in a sense, but they're essentially just ports of games in one big collection. It's great, and it's wonderful, and I like the games in there. I streamed one of them, and I thought it was an excellent game. It reminded me why I liked it so much. But it's just a collection of games that I've already played, and other things I've already seen. So there was a conflict of, I love these games, and I like the collection. It was incredibly well-polished and cool. It's just... I don't know. I would still say it's one of the better games this year, and if you hadn't played any of these games, you should pick it up the collection and play them. Because it is a wonderful, well-crafted, lovingly made collection made by the people who made these games originally, wanting to show off their games for future generations, to preserve them in a more digestible package. I liked it. It probably does deserve to be higher. But I put it where it is. I don't know what else I played this year, to be honest. But that probably covers most of it. That's the games I played this year. I guess I played a lot, if you're gonna be honest, but it feels like I didn't, to be honest, and maybe I think there were a couple of highlights this year, but I think in general, it felt like the year was a little lackluster. Obviously, we didn't get any Mario, we didn't get any Zelda, I'm sure we didn't get a lot of big titles that could normally top a list that we didn't get this year. Other various titles I could be interested in. Whatever. We didn't get certain things. I don't know. I didn't feel like this year was the best year for games. Maybe there were more than I don't remember. But there were still a lot of very good games I liked this year. And even if there were better games, certain games like Deltarune and certain games I would have risen to the top regardless because I dearly love them. But for next year, I don't know. What will happen next year? Let's see, Half-Life 3? Maybe. What will we see from Nintendo? First 6 months of the Switch has gone by. Switch 2 has gone by. Will we see the Switch 3?
No.
But will we see new games? Yes. We're going to get Tomodachi Life. Maybe we're going to see some more big budget Switch games. Will we see the Switch price increase? Probably, because GPUs have risen like 300 fucking %. So everything is going to rise in price because of the fucking VRAM issue. So if you bought a Switch now, congrats. It'll be more expensive next year, and if you don't want it, you can get your money back. We'll see. Maybe we'll finally get at least a trailer, an announcement for Final Fantasy VII Retribution. Who knows? We'll probably will. We didn't get it this year. I kind of thought we would. But if we didn't get it this year, it'll probably be next year. We'll at least see a trailer. Might even be closer to launch than we think. It's going to be a quicker time frame than Rebirth. And Rebirth was not that long after Remake, necessarily. So it should be a quick turnaround, relatively speaking. I don't... Honestly, aside from that, I'm looking for the Deltarune. I'm genuinely looking forward to the next Zelda game because I think it'll be different from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and that excites me. I'm looking forward to Tomodachi Life. I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy Next, 7, 8, whatever, who fucking cares. Aside from that, are there any other games to really think about next year that I should give a shit about? Because as far as I can think of, no. I mean, the new Resident Evil looks good, but as I'm playing those games kind of in somewhat of an order, it's not really there for me, even though it does look good. I don't know if there's many other games that are going to come out that I know that are announced that I'm looking forward to. No idea. I'm just looking at Steam right now if there's even like a upcoming or something. Not that it would show me much, but... Oh, Celebrity Hunter. Looks like a porn game. Lure of Passion. Oddcore? What the fuck is this? Cosplayer's Quest. Yeah, don't look at the upcoming for Steam. You're not going to find anything. I don't even know what's coming out next year, so I don't know what to look forward to. But maybe we'll get surprises, and we'll see what Nintendo brings. The PS5? Well, they're going to do the PS6? Who gives a shit? Sorry, they'll do the PS4 again and make their money back. And Xbox... rip, I guess. I mean, I kind of feel like they're just out of the market. They've not done well for themselves. They've really not. Xbox hasn't done well. No one's surprised. But, like, Xbox, you've been out of this for fucking ages. Accept your loss. Make Game Pass accessible for people again, and maybe you'll make some fucking money. I don't know. Just become a third-party developer. It's what you already are. But they feel... This year, there was a lot of news against Xbox where it feels like they're just done. They're just fucking done for as a brand. You tried, and you were not... You were only ever really successful in the 360 era. And even then, you weren't like... You were, like, on par. And then, ever since then, you've been kind of mediocre to subpar. And you've never really been up there with anybody. You had a flash in the pan, and you've managed to subsist because Microsoft has a lot of money. Otherwise, I feel like you would have been out ages ago. Sorry, Microsoft. That's a little harsh, but that's kind of the truth. But that's it. That's all she wrote for this presentation. A lot of games, a lot of streams. Did a lot of YouTube streams, which was a big deal. And again, top 10 again, a lot of these could circle around. I don't know if anything is topping Deltarune necessarily, but 2 and 3 could swap. Hell, Hades could be up higher. A lot of these could switch. What am I doing next year? I've been wanting to do Final Fantasy 1 for ages, and I haven't done it, so maybe I'll do that. Although, again, as I'm playing an RPG right now, maybe not soon. I'm going to play Pikmin 3 next year. I'm probably going to play Metroid Prime 2 next year as well. So it's going to be a remix of 2024, kind of. Tomodachi Life is definitely up there. I'm going to play Animal Crossing in January with the new update once that hits. Probably a couple other old retro games I want to check out. I might play Castlevania 2. I probably might play Sonic Adventure 2 as well, but I'll probably play Sonic 1 first. And maybe Sonic 2. Are there any other games I might want to play, looking at my list? Gonna have to think. There's a lot of games I own. that I wouldn't mind playing. I have Klonoa. I've got Clubhouse games. I don't know. I feel like I ought to play a Zelda game. Kirby DLC, some Mega Man. Yeah, I might play Mega Man 1 and fucking hate myself. Yeah, but maybe I'll play Zelda. I'll finally do Link to the Past. Fuck, I want to do Ocarina of Time or Majora, just because they're good games and I love them. And I've still never streamed them, despite being some of my favorite games of all time. I'll have to look and see. And there's plenty of Steam games that are on my to stream section that I've not streamed yet, as well. Resident Evil 2. I might not even wait till Halloween to do that one, just because I want to get through the series a bit quicker. And I'm showing my Steam library, sorry. Alan Wake could be a thing. BioShock, which is a series I love, would be fun to stream. Whatever I'm in the mood for. Control of here is fantastic. I don't know why, but I really like Don't Starve. It'd be fun to play it on stream. Chrono Trigger, that'd be a big one. Big one. There might be some RPGs next year. Probably will be some RPGs next year. Fucking Security Breach. If I could get it working in VR in the way I would like to, I might even stream Security Breach in VR. Which would be fun. FTL would be fun. Ace Attorney. There's a not impossible chance that one of the Ace Attorney games could be streamed next year. I'll probably do Half-Life Alyx. I probably won't do it as a YouTube stream, because I don't think I can stream to both and then stream VR and have it run very well without issues. So I might call kaput on the YouTube one and just do it there and then have to manually upload it, but that's fine. Half-Life Alyx is a shoo-in. Playing Hive Swap Act 2. This one I really want to play. I've had it for ages. It's another walking simulator type. Weird game with some Zelda references and stuff, made by Soda-Raptor, who did games I've also played and I also liked. That's probably a shoo-in for some point. Hell, I might play Inscription, because I like it. Oh yeah, Juice Galaxy. By the way, I do have some weird games. I say I don't have weird games to play. I do. Look at this. I just haven't played them yet. Those are good weekend stream games. There's weird games, like The Long Drive. This is an interesting weird one. A lot of Mega Man. What the fuck even? Mouthhole. Mouthwashing, which I still have not played. God, there's a lot. A game I talk about a lot that nobody has fucking ever heard of but me, for some reason. Where it is a bullet hell, like Ikaruga, where you switch between blue and red colors to dodge obstacles, and it's a 2D platformer, and it's a Metroidvania. Sounds like a clusterfuck, but also like a good game. There's some weird games in here. Besieged would be fun. I am not playing Crash. Sorry. Or rather, I'm not playing the Insane Trilogy. I'd probably emulate and play the original. Oh, yeah, Watam is that's another Katamari guy game, Keita Takahashi. Thanks, James. These are only Steam, by the way. There's other games too. These games I played are games to stream. Still in the games to stream. Oh yeah, Portal fucking 2. Sorry. Obviously, I played it before, but never streamed it, and I haven't played it in a long time. I would like to stream Portal 2. Pseudo Regalia is going to happen relatively soon. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Never played it. I take suggestions. If there's anything I haven't heard of, or anything that maybe I forgot about, that would be worth playing. They're on their Sucker for Love. That's going to be during Halloween. I guess it could be for Valentine's Day too, but I would kind of been saving that for Halloween. God, I got a lot of freaky, weird games. I have a game called Wacky Wonderland Wallop, a third platform game of the ages, game of the year, greatest game of all time, the game. Yeah, Wacky Wonderland Wallop, a 3D platforming for the ages, game of the year, greatest game of all time, the game. I was right. Which has images like this. So I will play it at some point. I've been putting that game off. But yeah, I haven't checked it out yet. Oh yeah, the Nonary games, Zero Time Dilemma. That's not impossible. I'll probably play Famicom Detective Club as well. But that's not impossible. I might end up playing Danganronpa 2. Even though I played it and I know the story and I'm perfectly content with that, but I've forgotten a lot about it. Mini Shoot Adventures. Sorry, this is just now I look at Steam games, which I shouldn't do because porn will come up. It's on my wish list. I think you probably recommended it to me before. Twin Stick Adventure. Oh yeah, I have heard about this. I'll keep it in mind. It's on sale right now, so maybe I could pick it up, but I've got to see how much I want it. But yeah, I mean, that kind of ties up for the games I played this year. I'd like to stream until New Year's, so I probably will play a game. But I gotta think about it. I'm gonna go use the restroom. And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make a decision on whether or not I just want to play like Hades 2. Or Blippo and watch TV. Or I decide to play Yearwalk, which is actually a New Year's themed game. But I'll be right back.